Mr. Clerk, you ready yet? You ready? Try this one more time. All y'all ready? They ready down there? All right, can we please check our phones and make sure they're on vibrate or silent? I wasn't directing it to you. No. All right, I call the order of the city council. I'm on the right one this time, right? City council meeting this time.
Yes, sir.
All right. I call the order of the city council meeting for September 13, 2023. It's approximately 5:45 p.m. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Campbell. Councilman Leon.
Here.
Councilwoman Godaro.
Here.
Councilwoman Julian. Here. Councilman Stevens.
Here.
Vice Mayor Wilson.
Here.
Mayor Harris.
I'm present.
You have a quorum.
All right. The mic still? Okay, my mic is on. Please stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. One more again. Got this one, Pastor?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Father God, we just thank you right now with our whole heart and our whole minds. We thank you, Heavenly Father, that you brought us to this place at this time to deliver and to deliberate on the business of your people. Enter into this meeting, bring their peace, love, and unison and oneness. In your name, I pray for that blessing. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we're on approval of the minutes.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Council, we do have before you the July 26th regular city council meeting minutes for your approval.
I need a motion on approving the minutes.
Motion.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none, so show the minutes approved. We're on order of business. Are there any items that need to be pulled, deleted, or added to the consent agenda at this time?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
item 11.4.
Okay. Any other items? Showing none, I need a motion on the agenda.
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none. Show the agenda passes. We're on special presentations.
Item 6.1, state legislative update. By correction to this item, city lobbyist Yolanda Cass Jackson.
This is my special presentation. We're going to have our lobbyist, Miss Yolanda Cass Jackson, to come up and give us a legislative update.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. It is such an honor to be here, always. What I'd like to do, because Senator Jones is not able to be with us today, but to kind of talk about what session is going to be like, because we are right around the corner. We will be in the first committee week next week. Only the House will be there. but we will be starting session in January this year. We have had many conversations with your staff, one of which Councilwoman Wilson would be glad to know was on your veterans issue. We made a lot of progress there. Some of the other things that I will share with you, I know that you have your own priorities, and we will be meeting with you all individually, I understand. I know that, for example, Councilman Stevens has an interest in education. He has told me that many, many times. And so we're looking at those issues. So I would urge you to give us your best ideas. We want to make sure that we take what you are selling and combine it with what they're buying. And that's what we'll be spending that time with the staff. We have a few handouts that we'll give you. I know you have a full house today, so we won't go through that, but we look forward to working with you individually to get ready for this session. And I think you will hear also from Senator Jones, Representative Benjamin, and Representative Gant.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson.
All right, thank you, sir. I'll entertain any questions if you have any.
Any questions? Thank you
you.
so much for your work.
All right, we're now to 6.2, special presentation by Councilwoman Shannon Campbell.
Councilwoman Campbell?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
give me 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Gonna take a minute, Bridget.
I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for that. Good evening, everyone. I want to start by making a statement, and then I'm going to get into my special presentation. In the United States, the Honorable is a courtesy title used with the names of current and retired federal, state, and local officials, along with judges. As a general rule, anyone elected to public office is entitled to be addressed as the Honorable for life. It is only when they become deceased is when the Honorable is no longer used. 20 years ago, there were leaders who had a vision for the betterment of their neighborhood and decided to move forward to do so. Being proactive, they formed the first council of the city of Miami Gardens. With the support of the residents, they assured the success of the city. These visionary forerunners have labored hard and long to make this municipality an independent city. We stand on the shoulders of the first council. Therefore, I honor you today. Honorable First Mayor Shirley Gibson. Honorable First Vice Mayor Aaron Campbell Jr. Honorable Barbara Watson, Seat 2. Honorable Audrey King, Seat 3. Honorable Melvin Bratton, Seat 4. Honorable Sharon Pritchett, Seat 5. And the Honorable Oscar Brannon II, Seat 6. I ask that each of you come up As I call your name, Honorable Shirley Gibson. Honorable Vice Mayor Aaron Campbell, Jr. And standing in the gap for Ms. Barbara Watson, we have my Sarah, Deborah Simmons. And may God rest her soul, the Honorable Audrey King. We have her daughter and her son here. We ask that you come and receive what she is due. Honorable Melvin Bratton. The Honorable Oscar Brannon II. And I'll receive the Honorable Sharon Pritchett on her behalf, in her absence. I want to thank Positivity Pays for making the vision come to life. I wanted to honor each of you, to give you your roses while you're still here. And in the absence of Ms. Watson, I thank you, Ms. Deborah Simmons. And then, of course, Ms. Audrey King's children, Carol and Darrell. We honor your mother in her deceased. I ask that each of you, there are refreshments in the community room for you and your guests, and I ask that you all take your gifts and enjoy them well. I'm gonna come down and take a picture. So, I have Positivity Pays. Where you at? This young man is the one that made this vision come to life. He has a company that deals with trading cards, and I'm gonna give him a few moments to just speak about that. And then we're gonna ask each of our guests to sign their cards, and they do have several that they can distribute to who they see fit deserves to have one. Thank you, and I honor you.
And that's a long overdue reward for your work and your compassion for this city. We do thank you all for your service and commitment to the people of Miami Gardens. And we commend you because on your shoulders we do stand.
Before he does his presentation, I'd like to make a quick comment.
Go ahead.
To the family of Miss Audrey King, our former councilwoman, I'm a product of Audrey King. I worked her campaigns when I was a freshman in college at Florida Memorial. And watching her and what she did helped me get to this seat today. So I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you.
Can we all come down and get a picture with the previous council?
Can I go ahead?
How are you? I'm good. Thank you.
Yes. Huh? All right, let's get back in order. We have another special presentation by Councilman Reggie Leon.
Good evening again, everyone. This special presentation, and is that me? This special presentation is for our Veteran Affairs. Vice Mayor would like this. We have some individuals in our Veteran Affairs that have served this country to the utmost. These individuals will be honored with an honor flight to D.C. Some of these 11 have already went, and there's another group that is getting ready to go to D.C. as a part of the honor flight program. And these individuals all live right here in the city of Miami Gardens who serve this country. So Yanir is going to read the proclamation and ask the council to come down as we honor these individuals as they prepare to take their honor flight to D.C.
Mayor, before we come down and take these pictures, you're absolutely right. I love the veterans, and I love what it is that you're sponsoring. So that we can make sure that we capture the picture for the moment, I want to make sure that the protocol manual is enacted and that we get in our respective places so that these photographs can be memorable ones. Thank you.
Thank you.
'Cause that's.
You ready? On behalf of our 113,000 residents, the City of Miami Gardens is honored to celebrate Honor Flights Day. Mr. Foyer Fisher. Mr. Ronald Gordon. Mr. Lewis Hilton. Mr. Johnny Mobley. Mr. Cedric Stewart. Mr. Bland Williams. Mr. Timothy Williams. Mr. Woodrow Wilson. Mr. John Ziegler. Congratulations. Mr. Fred Douglas. Don't think. Who you? Last. Yeah, they should. Mr. Dan Roll. No.
As we take this picture, let's give it up again for all of our veterans. Mr. President.
Johnny got his big old sign. It's John, you in the way.
Any other vets that's here, please come forward. Any other veterans that's here, please come forward.
We got a female vet. Hold it up, big. Take this picture of you. Tony's giving instructions. Everybody's following what Tony says.
All right. Look in the center. All right. All right. Ready? 1, 2. Everybody take their pick. One more. Thank you.
Okay, let me take yours in. Come on. Right, you want to take one with yours. Come on. Come on, let me get it. Wait, one more, Katrina. Y'all with you ready? I got to take a picture of my classmate and my friend. And I got to take one of my own.
Okay, where did they go? Trina, you gave me 2, right? You gave me 2? All right, we're on public comments. Mr. Clerk, you have any written communication?
Mr. Mayor and Council, we did receive written communication. Written communication has been forwarded to the City Council. As part of the written communication will be placed as part of the meeting minutes for this meeting as Exhibit A.
All right, thank you. I do have several cards here, so we'll start with Gabrielle. Before you get started, Gabrielle, hold on one second. Mr. Clerk, could you read the back of the comment cards, please?
Will do, Mayor. Article 2, Section 2-60 of the City of Miami Gardens Code, entitled Public Participation, provides that any person making personal, irrelevant, impertinent, or slanderous remark, or who becomes boisterous while addressing the City Council, shall not be considered orderly or observing decorum. If any person becomes too lengthy, abusive, obscene, and/or disruptive, or otherwise fails to comply with decorum rules, the presiding officer may issue a warning and provide an opportunity for the individual to conclude remarks in a decorous manner and within the designated time limit, interrupt and terminate the individual from concluding their remarks, bar the individual from further appearance before the City Council unless or until permission to continue or again address the City Council is granted by a majority vote of the City Council. Order shall be maintained. If any person refuses to obey the orders of the presiding officer and is declared out of order, the individual may be subject to removal by the Sergeant of Arms.
Okay. Angelo, you're next, okay? Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor. Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. I am here as a representative of youth.
First, state your name and address for the record.
I am Gabriel Grau, and by state law, I am not required to give my address. I am here to propose an idea that will benefit the youth at Lake Stevens Park, which is located at 183rd 50th Northwest 52nd Avenue. The city should build a public basketball court at this park. During the weekends or after school, my friends and I go to other parks because there are no good basketball courts nearby. The youth near Lake Stevens Parks complains about this issue, and we sincerely wish that you help better our community. Thank you for your time, Mayor and City Council.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, remember, guys, we allowed you guys to clap for our former council, but we're doing the little finger waves here. All right, Ms. Angelo.
Angelo Garcia, 16330 Northwest 45th Avenue, Venetian Acres. Thank you, Council, to all of you. Thank you for what you do in your services. Today I come to voice
There you go.
I wanted to. Now it's too long. I wanted to find out if somebody from Fire Station 32 or 38 is here. Any of the battalion chiefs that I spoke to earlier this week, or anybody from the Publix Warehouse, the director of the Publix Warehouse. They were going to try to be here today in support of this item that I've brought in front of you. This item is not only a hazard, it's actually not a hazard. This item is actually a safety issue. I've got over 100 hours in the last year of trying to make our government understand what's going on out there. And I'm going to try to shorthand it, because something that it's taken me over 100 hours, I can't give it to you in 100 seconds. So I hope we can do a shorthand. These tractor trailers that you have in front of you are destroying our swale areas. They are destroying our fire hydrant. That's why I reached, I wanted to see if one of our battalion chiefs were here. And if you see the pictures, they're actually in a certain section behind Publix Warehouse, they're actually running over our stop signs, backing up into fire hydrants, so when the tow trucks come and take them in the morning or whatever time, they actually can't get towed by the heavy truck, by the rotator. So I could tell you, I I have been out trying to. I've been trying to reach the police department to help me. Actually, the battalion chief asked me, "Have you been in contact with PD?" PD knows me. I've tried and tried. I've actually reached out to one of the road traffic sergeants. He actually hung up on me. So, like I said, what I've been through in the last 100 hours of doing this, I can't give it to you in 100 seconds. But, you know, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. All I'm asking is see if, with your help and the help of code enforcement and the police department, we could try to alleviate this problem, because it is not a nuisance. Now it's becoming a safety issue.
All right. Thank you. We'll make sure we get someone on it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Natalie Erse and Sheena Morris. And then Mr. Claude Brown, you're next.
Good afternoon, Council. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ashina Moses. I'm with Florida Impact to End Hunger. We're a statewide anti-hunger organization, and we just did a project in partnership with UHP in the city of Miami Gardens called the Healthy Retail Incentive Program. We want to thank you for considering the program. If it is passed, it will be very monumental, especially in the month of September, considering that this is Hunger Awareness Month, Childhood Obesity Awareness Month, and Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Month. So we thank you so much for your time. We thank you so much for your consideration, and we hope that this piece of legislation is passed.
All right.
Introduce yourself.
Good evening. My name is Tara Kitt. I'm the community liaison for the Miami Gardens area with UHP.
My name is Natalia Earl, and I'm the Food Systems Program Manager for Urban Health Partnerships, and I support this.
Good afternoon or evening. My name is Earlene Hayes, and I'm the Community Outreach Specialist here for the City of Miami Gardens. I support this as well.
All right. Thank you, guys.
And thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good evening, council members. My name is Claude Brown. I stay at 20520 Northwest 15th Avenue, Miami Gardens. Okay, my issue is doing the Formula One and Rolling Loud. They allowed the golf carts to be able to, you know, run free, pick up passengers and everything. But what ended up happening after Rolling Loud and Formula One, Miami PD decided that they was going to issue tickets.
Miami PD?
Yeah, Metro decided they going to issue tickets. And not only tickets, they issue fines, $1,000 fines to people that was driving the golf cart. So once I heard that, I didn't do it that week. But usually, yeah, I didn't do it. So I do it. But what ended up happening is got in touch. Somebody got 6 tickets. They got 4 tickets and 2 fines. So I told them, man, I was supposed to write an email when at Formula One certain things went on, and I didn't. So I said, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write an email, and I'm gonna, reach out to some people. I sent you an email, and I want to thank you for immediately, sending somebody, having someone call me immediately. I thank you. You had the chief call me. I thank him for his call as well. So, but I spoke with Lieutenant Montanero, and he's in the special events. Yeah, special events. So he say to me, I say on my email, I say that the golf carts was being targeted. He states to me I was right. So I asked him, I say, well, 99% of the golf cart drivers was black. Oh no, that's not the reason. I say, but 99% of the golf cart drivers was black. I say, and all the bikes, people that was riding the bikes, them cabs, the bike cabs, they was either Spanish or white. I said, but you wasn't giving them tickets and you wasn't giving them fines. I say, so it's not fair. You target one group of people. You target one group of people, and that was wrong. Well, it's illegal to ride golf cart. So when I spoke with the chief today, he said the cabs are illegal to ride. So I called him. Well, I called the captain, and he tell me, "Oh, well, the cabs are not illegal." I said, "Well, I spoke with the chief, and he told me they're illegal. But you gave tickets to
and they're with Miami-Dade, right?
Miami-Dade.
Okay.
It wasn't
okay.
Miami-Garden. It wasn't Miami-Garden, you know, but it happened in Miami-Garden. Yeah. And I felt like, me personally,
I got you.
Me personally, I just felt like it's not about. To me, it wasn't about that they was that is illegal. I understand it's illegal. My issue was the fact that you allowed them to do it in 2 events.
Right.
And there was big events, so that's why you allowed them to do it. But once you decide that we're not gonna allow y'all to do this anymore, somebody should have explained that to them drivers. Not decide you're gonna give out tickets. You should have gave a warning. Like I said to him, you should have gave a warning. Because if you give a warning, now that's in the system. It's in the system. I gave you a warning, so if I catch you out here again, I'm going to give you a ticket and you're going to get a fine. That's not what they did.
All right. Well, I got that information. We got that information from you, and we'll make sure that we address that those issues.
Thank you very much. Y'all
no,
have a
you're very
wonderful
welcome.
day. God bless.
Thank you. Maria Alvarez, and then Elizabeth Mays, you're next.
Good evening. My name is Maria Alvarez, 19036 Northwest 46th Avenue. I'm here today hoping to get your guidance. I don't know who else to turn to. It's in regards to King's Garden. Can you hear me? King's Garden. The potholes there are just unbelievable. I'm sorry I didn't bring pictures. I do have them on my phone if you guys want to see it. It doesn't seem like it's, even in Miami Gardens. You wouldn't think that it's in the U.S. But when I called Miami-Dade, they told me to come to you guys for help. And when I called Miami Gardens, I was told that you guys get phone calls about this every day, but that they're private streets. However, there's no association for like 30 or 50 years. There's no one to go to. They told us we were the ones that have to do it. Most of the people that live there don't speak English or are older. If not, they would all be here. There's tons of people that are trying to get this done, trying to get the neighbors to get together. I got a quote for a small area, and it was $28,000. But the point is that we don't know what to do. There's a tree on the back in a common area that's lifting up the concrete in the backyard, and so it needs to be cut, or I don't know, but we don't know who do we go to? Who's in charge? Who needs to tell us what to do or how to do it?
We'll get all of that information for you, definitely, okay?
Okay, but is it something we need to, there has to be an association formed? Because I know people have tried before.
I have someone speak to you in the back of the room.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilman. I'm here in support of item 11.
I need your name,
my name is
and
Elizabeth.
address for the record.
My name is Elizabeth. I live in 3381 Northwest 194 Terrace here in Miami Gardens. I'm here to support the 11.5 item. For me, I have 3 kids, 4, 5, and 13, and they're all in the school age. And there's been plenty of times where I'm taking my daughters and I have to rush across the street or pick them up and take them really fast because people are driving really fast through the school zones. So I think with this idea, it allows people to do the right thing with moral and reasoning. Everybody isn't going to follow, but usually when you're being watched, you are more tense to follow than not. And I think that would keep not just our babies safe, but our big babies, our teenagers, they're on their phones, they're, talking, they're not paying attention, and we need to save them too. So I'm just in support of this item.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Tina Alexander, And Tamara Efoot, you're next. Good evening.
My name is Tina Alexander. I live at 1799 155 Street, Rainbow Park. I've been there 63 years this year. We need a seawall. ASAP. Whatever you're gonna do, give it to me in black and white, just like we put it on this paper. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Miss Alexander. Tamara Efoot.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tamara Efford. I live at 3460 Northwest 211th Street. The reason why I'm here is in support of item 11.5, the red speed. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with Formula One that comes in May 2024. That's been here for 2 years. However, anyway, in my neighborhood on 211, people treat that street like a drag strip. And I'm looking for a solution to keep my neighbors and the children in my neighborhood safe. So I'm in support of red speed.
All right, thank you. Orlando Torres. And then Stephanie Russell, you're next.
Good afternoon, Mayor, council members. My name is Orlando Torres. I live in 1920 South Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. I am with Vera Mobility, and I wanted to commend you folks on making a decision to move forward with school speed enforcement. I know that, and I can say that because I do those kind of programs, provide those services across the country, including the city of Atlanta, who just started their program just this week. I am your red light camera partner, safety partner, and photo enforcement partner for the last 11 plus years. The photo enforcement will make a difference. I see the results. I see the kids' lives being changed and saved, not to mention the people that go to those areas. I am around a lot because I've been your partner for so many years for your very successful photo enforcement program. I've been around enough where I used to be a UPS driver here many years ago when this was just sand dunes to the north of us. So I'm around a lot, and if there's an opportunity in the future, there's a change of direction, just know that Vera Mobility does this on a very, very large scale. We're the largest photo enforcement provider in the country. As I mentioned, Atlanta will be adding up to 150 cameras here very soon for speed enforcement, and we have still 40 clients around the state where we provide these services. So we're very strong, and I'm very confident that whatever proposal you have before you, and again, I hope that it works well, we are very confident we can match, and I know that we can exceed those services and whatever services you have coming. So congratulations on doing that. I wish you good luck with it. I will be around if anything changes. I'm ready to talk and discuss. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Torres. Stephanie? Or should I say Pastor Russell?
Good evening, Stephanie Russell, Senior Pastor of Our Father's House of Prayer, 3974 Northwest 167th Street. There are several things that I would like to address. Thank you to the entire council, along with Chairman, for assisting the elderly on a situation that was very, very vital to her and to her family. And so thank you all for reaching out and helping her with that issue. Secondly, in my canvassing in the community, I came before addressing the issue of the speeding, running red lights, running into residents, fence and gates, lack of police. And I want to say that as I went back to follow up on that canvassing, Chief Pratt and Miami Gardens Police, that the police presence have been more. So the residents do feel a little more safer, that they see more police officers in their residential area. And then lastly, on item 11.5, in my canvassing as well, a lot of the residents that I spoke with live near school zones. And so this item is a part of the issue that will help Miami Gardens. And I say that because there are residents who are elderly who wants to sit on their front porch, sit in their yard, and the speeding is an issue because of safety issues. And so while I do support 11.5, I hope this is not the end of taking care of the speeding issue that is very, very prevalent in Miami Gardens area. Thank you.
Thank you. It looks as if it's Clint, John, or Jolene.
Clint John, 19611 Northwest 12th Avenue. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, esteemed council members, and fellow residents of Miami Gardens. My name is Clint John, and I stand before you today as a 7th grade student attending Norland Middle School. I wish to bring an important matter to your attention, one that concerns the safety of our young residents as we travel to and from school. The resolution at hand proposes the city attorney to negotiate a professional services agreement with Red Speed to provide detection in school zones. Now, walking to school should be a safe and enjoyable experience for all students. Unfortunately, many of us face difficulties, including crossing streets that can unexpectedly speed through. This creates an unnecessary anxiety and danger. As young pedestrians, we deserve respect and protection, and these speed detection systems can significantly contribute to our safety. I kindly request you, City Council members, that you recognize the importance of this resolution and pass it. Thank you for your time, and together we can make school zones safer for the city of Miami Gardens.
Thank you, Clint. And Clint, you better be in school every day, too. Ms. Gail Cunningham. And Marcia Lawson, you're next.
Good evening. Gail Cunningham, 19001 Northwest 14th Avenue Road, Miami Gardens, Florida 33169. Are we speaking to the item at this time, or is this just public speaking?
Public comments.
I need to speak to the item.
Which item?
11.5.
It's already been on the consent agenda, so you can go ahead and speak on that item now.
Okay, I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of people who are in support of this item, and we're ready and highly anticipating the item actually coming into existence. And we want to make sure, and we know that the education component will be there, so we want to make sure the education component is there and that it is enforced, because it's definitely needed, especially with so many people, I'm sure the majority in the city of Miami Gardens, who are concerned about the traffic, and being that this is something that's new, but it's definitely something that's positive, and it's going to be effective, and it will be seen by everyone at every school and the communities around the school, and hopefully it will spread and go out the entire county. So again, I'm speaking for 10 or more people for sure. Some of them are sitting behind me now. We are happy that it's happening, and we can't wait for the education and the enforcement. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Cunningham, see me after council meeting, please. You're coming to the principal's office.
Good evening. My name is Marcia Lawson, address 19611 Northwest 12th Avenue. Ladies and gentlemen, your councilors and mayors, I stand before you today not only as a concerned grandparent, but also as a representative of countless grandparents who shares my fears. Every day, we send our precious grandchildren and students off to school, hoping and praying for their safety. The sight of young children walking to school should bring joy and pride to our hearts, but it also brings a deep sense of concern. We fear of their safety as they navigate busy streets and crossroads, vulnerable to the unpredictable nature of traffic. Let us work together to ease the hearts of grandparents and guardians crossing Miami Gardens. During that, our beloved children can pursue their education without unnecessary risk and dangers. The safety of our youth is a shared responsibility, and I implore you to prioritize it for the sake of all our grandchildren and students. Thank you.
Thank you. Miss Elizabeth Judd and Miss Alina Costume, you're next.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Vice Mayor and Council. My name is Elizabeth Judd. I reside at 15,000 South River Drive. I'm here to speak on 11.5. I would like to provide you with documentation as to why you should pass this particular item. The speed detection system is really needed because we have a total deaths every year of accidents of 46,980. Of that amount, pedestrians is number 3 on that list, third highest in terms of an amount of injuries that occur to people that are walking. Also, this is a 40-year high. It's gone even beyond and higher than gun violence. In cases involving children who are injured in traffic accidents, at least 30% involve children under the age of 15 who are pedestrians. Pedestrians account for about 30% of all traffic fatalities. The 3 states with the highest number of fatalities is Mexico, Arizona, and Florida. So you know, for some reason, we always fit in there somewhere. And as stated by the previous speakers, our children are our most important to all of us. And therefore, just based on the fact that we know that this is a great possibility, I'm asking you to support 11.5, because the best thing we could do is always support our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Judd. Elena Costume. Elena Costume. Going once, going twice, gone. Showing no more public comments are closed. Mr. Clerk, we're on ordinances for first reading.
All right, item 8.1, an ordinance of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, creating Chapter 6, Article 7 of the Code of Ordinances entitled Shopping Center Registration, providing for adoption representation, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing a severability clause, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Vice Mayor Katrina Wilson.
Vice Mayor? Huh? No. This your item, right?
I just am glad to be able to proffer this, and my hope and my prayer is that we will be able to ensure that we raise the standards of how our shopping centers are maintained and how they are kept in order and made to be in compliance with how they maintain the frontage and keep those shopping centers safe and free from harm with the appropriate signage. So, thank you.
All right. And then, is there public comments on this?
No, there's no public comments on this particular item.
I need a motion on the item.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilwoman Campbell,
Yes.
Councilman Leon,
Yes.
Councilwoman Godaro,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian,
Yes.
Councilman Stevens,
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Item 8.2, an ordinance of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, amending section Article 9, generalization schedule of permitted uses, uses permitted with extra requirements, special exemption uses, and prohibited uses to create extra requirements for shopping centers, providing for adoption representation, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing a severability clause, providing for inclusion in code, providing an effective date, and this is an ordinance for first reading and public hearing, Mr. Mayor.
Vice Mayor?
This is an ordinance that's necessary to amend so that the previous ordinance can go through. Am I correct?
All right. Need a motion on this item?
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor. This is public hearing on this particular ordinance.
Do it.
Yep.
Public comments on this item?
There are no pre-registered
There are no-
public comments or any written communications, Mr. Mayor.
No written communication either?
Sir.
All right, showing none, show public comments closed. I need a motion on this item again.
Motion.
Been moved and seconded. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilman Leon,
Yes.
Councilman McDarrow,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson,
Yes.
Councilman Julian,
Yes.
Councilman Stevens,
Yes.
Councilwoman Campbell,
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Item 8.3, an ordinance to the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, relating to elections, calling the 2024 general elections and special elections for mayor and for council seat 1, 3, and 5, provided for runoff election, if necessary, provided for qualification of candidates, provided for close of election books, approving the official ballot form, provided for notification, provided for adoption representation, revealing all ordinances in conflict, providing a severability clause, providing an effective date. This is sponsored by the city clerk.
Mr. Clerk, you're going to have to speak up a little louder, Mr. Clerk.
I'm doing my best, sir. Mr. Mayor, Council, Vice Mayor, Council, this ordinance is part of our process in calling the next election per our code. This ordinance is calling the 2024 election to be held next year in August.
All right. This is a public hearing.
No, there's no public comments on this one.
All right. Showing no public comments, I need a motion on this item.
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilwoman McDarrow,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian, Councilman Stevens,
Yes.
Councilwoman Campbell, Councilman Leon,
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 7-0. There are no ordinances on for second reading, public hearing, no resolution, public hearings. We're now on the consent agenda. Item 11.1, a resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, recognize September as Hunger Action Month, provided for adoption of reputation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilman Robert Stevens III. Item 11.2, a resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds from the general funds account in an amount not to exceed $15,000 in support of the Vikings Avenue Street renaming celebration, provided for instructions to the city clerk, provided for adoption of reputation, provided for an effective date. This is sponsored by Councilman Robert Stevens III. Item 11.3. A resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, supporting neighborhood crime watch programs in Residential Area 3, authorizing a total donation in the amount of $14,000 with $3,500 each to Bunch Park, Scott Lakes, Rainbow Park, Crestview, Rolling Oaks Crime, and Neighborhood Watch programs. From Councilwoman Shannon Lady Iguodaro Special Events Account, provided for adoption representation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Shannon Iguodaro. Item 11.5, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorized City Manager and City Attorney to negotiate a professional service agreement with Red Speed to provide speed detection system in school zones in substantial form as that agreement attached here to is Exhibit 8. Provided for adoption representation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian. Item 11.6, a resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, directing the city manager to establish a Miami Gardens smoke-free campaign throughout the city of Miami Gardens, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian. Item 11.7, resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating $4,000 from Councilman Reggie Leon's Public Affairs Special Events account to support Miami Northern Senior High School band program, providing for adoption representation, providing for effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilman Reggie Leon. Item 11.8, a resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating $4,000 from Councilman Reggie Leon's Public Affairs Special Events account to support Miami Carroll City Senior High School band program, providing for adoption representation, providing for effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilman Reggie Leon. Item 11.9, a resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating $1,100 from Councilman Reggie Leon's Public Affairs Special Events account to support the Bunch Park Optimist football program, providing for adoption representation, providing for effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilman Reggie Leon. Item 11.10, a resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, awarding request for proposal RFP number 22-23-017, City of Miami Gardens holiday lighting and decorations to South Florida Light Team LLC, DBA, Miami Christmas Lights. Authorize city manager to proceed with negotiation and execute an agreement for this purpose. Provide for adoption reputation, provide for an effective date. This is sponsored by city manager. Item 11.11. A resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorize city manager, city attorney to take any and all necessary steps to accept the conveyance of the right-of-way located in Leslie Estates Community Number 1 and Number 2 under Leslie Estates Homeowners Association Number 1, more particularly described on Exhibit A attached here 2, provided for adoption representation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by City Manager. Item 11.12. A resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute and attest respectively that certain award agreement with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for the fiscal year 2023 Project Safe Neighborhood Grant in an amount of $80,000. A copy of which is attached here to is Exhibit A, provided for instructions to the city clerk, provided for adoption or revocation, provided for an effective date. This is sponsored by City Manager. Item 11.13, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, approving the Healthy Retail Incentive Program, provided for adoption or revocation, provided for an effective date. And this is sponsored by the City Manager. Item 11.14, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizes the City Manager to apply and accept that certain beautification grant award from the Florida Department of Transportation. Authorizes City Manager, City Clerk to execute and attest respectively a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Transportation, a copy of which is attached here to is Exhibit A. Authorizes City Manager to take any and all necessary steps to accept grant funds in the amount of $162,000. $477.50, authorizing in-kind matching funds in the amount of $9,845, provided for instructions to the city clerk, provided for adoption registration, provided for an effective date. This is sponsored by City Manager. Item 11.15, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, approving the revised fiscal year 2023 adopted Miami Gardens Community Redevelopment Agency budget as set forth in Exhibit A, provided for adoption or revocation, provided for an effective date. And this is sponsored by the City Manager. Item 11.16, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, approving the fiscal year 2024 Miami Gardens Community Redevelopment Agency budget as set forth in Exhibit A, provided for adoption or revocation, provided for an effective date. This is sponsored by the City Manager, and that's your consent agenda.
I need a motion on the consent agenda.
Motion.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none. Show the consent agenda passes. And give Mario some water.
All right, we're now on to 11.4, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, supporting September as Sickle Cell Awareness Month and requesting that September be recognized as Sickle Cell Awareness Month in the City of Miami Gardens, providing for adoption, reputation, providing for an effective date. And this is sponsored by Councilwoman Shannon Iguodaro.
This was pulled by Councilman Stevens?
Yes.
Ms. Stevens?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'm actually in full support of the item. My only concern is, I know at one point when I was preparing to bring it before the council, it was brought to my attention by way of research that former Councilwoman Lily Q. Odom sponsored a item declaring September already. So I just want to make a note that moving forward, maybe it's something on the administrative side that we can make sure that we're not duplicating resolutions that would stand without a date stamp to it. That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. But
That's all I
is
have.
this resolution already on the books? Madam Attorney?
It is. It was sponsored by Councilwoman Odom in 2016 to make it every year, September every year, sickle cell awareness. But I wasn't aware. But once the question was asked, then we researched it and found out.
All right. I need a motion on this item right now for the
Motion.
day. Been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Show the item passes.
All right, there are no resolutions. We're now on to quasi-judicial zoning hearing and agenda disclosures.
Good evening and welcome to the quasi-judicial portion of the September 13, 2023 City Council meeting. For those persons that will or may be speaking on an item on the agenda or commenting on any item, please stand up and be sworn in by the city clerk. For the applicant, your item will be called to order by agenda number and title of your request. When your item is called, please approach the microphone, and when addressed, please speak directly and clearly, stating your name and address for the record, and explain the reason for your request. Please note that all exhibits presented to the mayor and the council will become part of the public record.
All interested parties, please stand, raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm that the testimony you provide this evening is true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
All right, you may be seated. Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead, Mr. Clerk.
May I go ahead and poll the council for agenda disclosures?
Yes.
Councilman Stevens, have you had any ex parte communications on this item? And will your decision tonight be solely based on the evidence presented before you? Councilwoman Iguodaro, have you had any ex parte communications on this item?
No.
And will your decision tonight be solely based on the evidence presented before you?
Yes.
Councilman Leon, have you had any ex parte communications on this item?
No.
And will your decision tonight be solely based on evidence presented before you?
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian, have you had any ex parte communications on this item? And will your decision tonight be solely based on evidence presented before you? Councilwoman Campbell, have you had any ex parte communications on this item?
No.
And will your decision tonight be solely based on evidence presented before you?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson, have you had any ex parte communications on this item? And will your decision tonight be solely based on evidence presented before you? Mayor Harris, have you had any ex parte communications on this item?
No.
And will your decision tonight be solely based on evidence presented before you?
Yes.
All right, we're on to 13.3, resolutions and public hearing. Item 13.3.1, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, waiving the distance requirement for the sale of alcohol beverages as set forth in Section 34-147 of the Miami Gardens Code of Ordinances for that certain property located at 18581 through 18583 Northwest 27th Avenue, more particularly described in Exhibit A attached here to, provided for adoption representation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the City Manager.
Mr. Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Nikisha Smith will do the presentation.
All right, thank you.
The subject property is located within the Miami Gardens Plaza. It's a commercial shopping center. It's located at 18581 to 18583 on Northwest 27th Avenue. You can see it here on the proposed map. It's just south of the City Hall. This is zoned within the entertainment overlay. The intent of the entertainment overlay district is to encourage entertainment-driven uses. And in keeping with that, the applicant, Miami Legends Sports Cafe, is seeking to operate a family-friendly establishment that is centered around all things sports. The establishment would serve food and drinks inclusive of alcoholic beverages. These are images of the shopping center. Again, it's located just south of our City Hall here. It's to the north of the Chipotle and is located to the west of the North Dade Regional Library and the Pelican Cove. It's located to the east, just across the street of the U-Haul site. The reason for the request is that it is required that patrons serving alcoholic beverages comply with our distance verification in terms of their distances from facilities such as schools, churches, parks, and residential areas. The applicant does have a deficiency in terms of meeting the distance requirements as per the code. It does exceed 25%, and therefore it does require City Council approval, as staff cannot approve that level of a variance. Staff did review the application in compliance with Section 3447 for the granting of variances and waivers within our code. And in summary, staff is recommending approval of the item. The applicant is also here if there's any questions.
All right, there's public hearing on this item. Mr. Clerk?
There's no written communication, nor do I have any pre-registered public comments.
All right, there's no public comments here. Are there anyone in the audience that would like to provide public comments? Showing none, show public comments are closed on this item. I need a motion on the item.
Motion. Second.
Been moved and seconded. It's open for discussion from the dais. Mr. Manager, you had your hand up?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I just want to make sure that the address was correct on this. I just want to make for the record the address is correct. Okay, and if not, we'll correct that. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Is it correct?
I just want to make, on the presentation, I'm not sure.
All right, so we will make that correction on that.
Thank you.
Any questions or concerns from the dais? No questions or concerns from the dais? Showing none. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilman Stevens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Campbell?
Yes.
Councilman Leon?
Yes.
Councilman McDarrell?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian?
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 7-0. All right, we're now on to the reports of the city manager, city attorney, and city clerk.
Mr. Manager?
Mr. Mayor, I don't have any report. I just want to take this opportunity to wish my youngest daughter a happy 21st birthday. That's it.
I barely can hear you, Mr. Manager.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
I hear it now.
Okay. What I was saying is I like to take, I don't have a report, but I want to take this opportunity to wish my youngest daughter a happy 21st birthday.
Still need order.
Well, I could have said it 3 times.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Manager.
I got 3 times. I'm about to send this recording to her.
Mr. Manager, you fading out. Use Craig Super Mic.
Speak with your chest, Mr. Manager. Speak with your chest.
Is that better?
That's better.
Okay. I just want to take this opportunity. I don't have a report, but I want to take this opportunity to wish my baby daughter a happy 21st birthday. That's it. Thank y'all. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You know what that means
Mr. Mayor,
at
I don't
21
have
now, right?
Yeah.
Mayor, I don't have a
Madam
report.
Attorney? No report? Yeah, you guys like our attorney's new look this year? This her new look for the fiscal year 2024.
I do have a family emergency, so I have to run out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope everything is okay. Keep us posted. Let us know. All right. Mr. Clerk?
No report.
All right.
Yes, Mr. Mayor,
I
do
know
have a
you do.
report.
Mr. Stevens, I know you do. Go ahead.
First and foremost, I just, since you highlighted the attorneys here, I just want to say how much I really like the city manager's tie. It's a really nice tie. When you all get a chance, go look at the manager's tie.
Want me to have them zoom in onto it?
First and foremost, let me thank my colleagues. I believe the work that we did this evening with the agenda was a really good work as we work to improve the quality of life for our residents by implementing speed cameras to cut back and come back the traffic. So thank you, Councilwoman Julian, for your efforts in leading that, and to Councilwoman Campbell for acknowledging those who got our city up and going and starting. I appreciate that recognition as well to the former council members. This past Saturday on September 9th, I host a quarterly walk for health to promote awareness for Alzheimer's and Sickle Cell Awareness Month at the Betty T. Ferguson complex. We've expanded this event to include a 5K run and spin bike class, and I'd like to report that the Vice Mayor, not only did she participate in the 5K, but she also knocked out 30 minutes in the spin class. So y'all give the Vice Mayor kudos because she knocked it out. Join me in the month of December for the next one. It is a great time. We start at 7:00 a.m. on the track. The date and time would be released at a later date. On Monday, I held with my colleagues, we hosted a 9/11 memorial celebration where we came together to commemorate the lives lost and the resilience of our nation. A huge kudos to our chief of police who did a phenomenal job with her speech. Thank you so very much, Chief, for participating. And to our stellar youth in our community from Brentwood Elementary, the 5th graders from the Safety Patrol to the captains of their classes, they did an outstanding job. So we want to make sure we continue to acknowledge our young people. Thank you, Pastor Russell, for your participation as well. And then most importantly, thank you to my colleagues for supporting the Stop the Bleed Kit initiative. We was able to unveil the first kit at the Lester Brown Park on Monday, as well as a part of the ceremony. On Saturday, September 30th, I'll be partnering with Miami-Dade County Chairman Gilbert and the Norland Vikings Alumni Association to present the Viking Avenue Street renaming celebration as a pre-kickoff to their homecoming week. Come out, enjoy special performances, food, and they wrote here in my notes, a Viking good time. And then last but certainly not least, I encourage everyone to come and be a part of my Table Talk Tuesday on October 3rd at 6:30 p.m. at our local Starbucks for a conversation over coffee or tea to discuss ways that we can make our community the place where you want to be. Everyone is welcome to come out for a casual conversation, 6:30, October 3rd at the Starbucks right here off of 27th Avenue. I know I said that was last but not least, but I have to highlight that on October 5th, we'll be starting our first cohort of college classes out of the Betty T. Ferguson Recreation for our city-university partnership. There is still time for those who want to register and start classes, but the first cohort of classes will be starting October 5th, and I'm super excited about that. Again, thank you to my colleagues for your continuing support as we work to make the city of Miami Gardens the place that you don't want to be just today, but forever. Thank you, Mayor.
No report. No report. Councilwoman Julian?
Well, it sure does feel good to be back. Welcome back. I know that we were gone for a few months on recess, and so I'm happy to see all of your faces. I want to thank my colleagues as well as the residents for supporting my items this evening, especially the speed enforcement item. You know, this is a step in the right direction, ensuring to make sure that we ensure the safety of our students by making sure that motorists are in compliance. So colleagues, I want to say to you, thank you. And to all the residents who came out and spoke in favor of this item, I want to thank you. And that ends my report, Mr. Mayor.
Councilwoman Campbell?
No report.
Vice Mayor? Turn on your mic.
Thank you. First, I'd like to extend to our constituents an invitation to attend a job fair hosted in partnership with Mayor Levine LaCava and Miami-Dade County Human Resources Department. It's going to be held on September 27th and Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Betty T. Ferguson Recreational Complex. They will be doing on-site hiring from a myriad of different departments within the county. They are currently going throughout Miami-Dade County holding job fairs. I understand that you will have human resources representatives from Water and Sewer, the Department of Correction, Metro-Dade, and I think it's one other department, but there are offers to be up to as many as 6 different departments that will be there on-site hiring, as well as helping you to upload your information into their human resources or portal. And so I would encourage you, they are looking for a lot of workers, and I would encourage you to bring your youngsters that may be in 12th grade and will be graduating next year, in about 6 months, to begin the application process so that their employment can be there. And their employment application can be for approval. The other thing that I would like to encourage you also to do is to ensure that you upload and apply here to Miami Gardens. We have a lot of part-time positions that people would be very, very, very pleasant to know that it's a great source of income. And so please take advantage of that. And then finally, we're going to have our regularly scheduled Meet Me Monday on August 19th, okay? Now, here's the comment that I have. We have a protocol manual. Yes, sir.
Vice Mayor, I think he meant September 19th. You said
okay, then September 19th.
I just want to make sure. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. September 19th, my bad. Okay, so we have a protocol manual. for this council here. Protocol manual is an official way in which we embrace as the way in which we conduct business. And there are things in that protocol manual that must be enforced. And each month, twice a month, that we come here, we have the same issue that I have indicated we need to find a way to enforce. And so I'd like to know how we're going to do that.
What items you wanted?
Where does it fall? Who's responsible for the protocol manual and the enforcement of the items concerning this council?
I guess, Mr. Manager, you understand what the question is?
Mr. Mayor, I think to the Vice Mayor's point, there's a collective effort depending on the issues that are raised at the time of, at the different areas of the protocol manual. So I think it's, Vice Mayor, if you just would identify.
Identify.
So that y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm talking about the photos. I thought I was clear. I said every time we come here, we have the same problem with the way in which we organize ourselves for official historical photos. They're official, and there are specific guidelines in the protocol manual that indicates how that ought to take place. Now, I know that this might not appear to be serious, but it is for me, because when I go back and I look in the archives of pictures of this city, they followed a way in which their photographs were taken. And those things are important for the record. When time has gone, the images will tell the story. So and I don't think that we had a very important photo with those veterans, very important. And yet it was done in such a way that was cavalier. And I want to know tonight, how is that going to be enforced going forward? And if I can't get anyone to tell me that, then I'll give direction. I think that this council has to do that, because we spend a lot of energy and we put a lot into the work that we do. And when it culminates on this floor, it's important that it's documented appropriately. And we should not look as if we're at the Grammy Awards. This is not that kind of an event. Okay, so by the next meeting, I want the charter officers to go through the protocol manual and identify every single one of the areas that you are responsible for doing. And if there is any confusion about if you don't know who's responsible, then you can see me, and then we will proffer another ordinance to get clarity on how that manual needs to be enforced.
I guess as it relates to pictures, I think in the manual or the item that you brought stated that we're to line up according to how we sit on this dais, correct?
It says that, but here's what happens. When we bring in third-party individuals or organizations, it has to be organized in a way that allows those photographs to be taken
what we'll have to do
appropriately.
is we'll have to have someone to either organize us along there, put people in place, like who's ever doing the photographing. If there's a professional photographer here, then they can line us up how we should be lined up.
Since ain't nobody got the answer, Trina got it.
I think
I got it.
I think public affairs, since they
Correct.
posted, they should just do.
Again?
I think
Public
public
affairs
affairs,
will
since
be
they
able to line us up.
posted and they're the official city archives.
Correct.
They should make sure everybody's in
You know,
line.
I agree with you to a certain extent. That's why I think that we need to take a look at this, because some of this falls under the clerk's office. And some of this falls under the city manager and the public relations officer. Now, if they can't figure it out, I can figure it out for them. At the end of the day, when we have a photo that's official, it needs to be officially organized. And there is no excuse for us to stand around here looking like a cattle call. That is one of the most unprofessional things. And someone has to take responsibility.
All right, we got you. We got it.
That concludes my comments.
Y'all better line up right. We got you. Y'all better line up right.
All right.
All right, so I guess it's my comments now, huh? Tell you what, y'all better line up right. All right. Yeah, we'll work that out. No, everyone, I really don't have a lot to say today. Just let's keep all those people that's in Morocco and those places that they had floods and earthquakes, let's keep them in prayer, because we were just one major hurricane away from being in that same situation or even worse. So keep them in your prayers. Let us continue to work together as a community to ensure that we're doing everything in our power to be the best city possible. We'll continue. I know the vice mayor said that, or the councilwoman stated that we were off for a month. Those were lies, because I worked every day of August. Every day of August. And I want to take this opportunity to again thank the city manager and his staff and for hearing our concerns here on the dais and then going back and working through the things that was said, hearing the concerns of our residents and making sure that what was said in public comments, if there was a complaint or issue, that we at least respond back to people and we make sure that we are in a position to try to help if we possibly can. We're going to do everything in our power to ensure. We made promises on campaign trails. We made promises throughout the entire time we've been on this council that we're going to do the job that we were set or we were voted into office to do, and we plan to do just that. But we need your help as well. So let's continue to work together for the common goal, and that's to make this city the best city possible. That being said, I need a motion to adjourn this meeting. It's been moved and seconded. Show this meeting adjourned. And y'all better make sure y'all line up how y'all supposed to line up when it comes to them pictures.